Okay, a little bit about me. This is my 10th year teaching. I've taught of just a variety of grades, going all the way down to kindergarten, but middle school is definitely my favorite. This is my 4th year here at Martin City. I've got a bachelor's degree. I have a master's in curriculum and instruction, as well as an ESL endorsement, all from UMKC. I also have 3 little boys and my husband TJ. We live in KCK, but I am originally from St. Joseph, Missouri. So I welcome any conversation about St. Joseph if you're familiar with it. I'm determined to have a positive attitude this year, even though there's lots of unknowns and we're just trying to figure it out all together. So I will have plenty of grace with students and parents, and I hope that you will have the same for me. You can call me Miss Loya, that's my married last name, but I haven't legally changed it yet. So if you call me Miss Parcell, that's fine also. It's been a while. I need to get around to changing it, but maybe next summer I'll do that. Okay. So scheduling, I sent out an email last week to parents and students discussing scheduling, and it was actually just me copying and pasting from the syllabus. So I feel like most students have a handle on it, so I won't read this exactly word for word. Just know that students are either A or B students, or cohorts. Cohorts means a group of students that will move together. Even if you said, I'm going to be virtual all semester, you still are either A or B. And A students are synchronous with their teachers on Monday, Tuesday, and asynchronous on Thursday, Friday. For B, it's the opposite. So B students are synchronous with their teachers Thursday, Friday, and asynchronous or async with their teachers on Monday, Tuesday. And then everybody is asynchronous on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are the day that the school will be cleaned once we do go back to school. So we're kind of preparing and planning to have that mentality right now, that everybody's working independently on various activities online on Wednesdays. Wednesday is also a day that a teacher might have like a small group Zoom with students, or maybe like a one-on-one Zoom. I know, like for myself, like we might have readers conferences or writers conferences once we start writing drafts of different essays and things. Okay. So daily assignment resources. This is just a quick summary of some different websites we will use, which there's really just a few main websites that we will use. So our first main stop will be Canvas, and this will just house all kinds of things. Like anything I want to use, I can pretty much link it through Canvas. I will say 95% of most things I will use to teach you guys, I can link through Canvas. So even if it's sync or async, you still start with Canvas to see what you need to do. You can go to the announcements for each day and see an agenda of what you need to work on that day, okay? Study Sync is kind of like our ELA textbook, but it's all online. And Study Sync is really cool. Some kids probably are familiar with it because they used it last year, but it does not allow itself to link to anything. So I guess it's very secure website, and they don't want unauthorized people to be able to get in. So you have to go through Clever to get in. So once we start using Study Sync, I will post a video as well as like do a live lesson explaining how to get into Study Sync. But once we start using Study Sync for things, students will have to leave the Canvas website to get to Study Sync. It'll be okay. And Study Sync is routed through Clever. So most students are familiar with Clever. I think it's Clever to get to Canvas, so it'll be fine. I'll post it, lots of help if students need help with getting to Study Sync. It is a few unnecessary steps in my opinion, but we can do it. Okay, the other website we'll sometimes use is Vocabulary, and I still haven't figured out if Vocabulary can link into Canvas yet, so that might be one more that we have to go outside of Canvas to get to, but we'll see. Vocabulary is just like a lot of fun rap songs teaching various vocabulary words, like for literature terms and things like that. And they have lots of practice activities. And I feel like the vocabulary is kind of the easy level of our assignments. So a lot of times we'll assign vocabulary when we're first learning something. And if you are struggling or you want to try it again, it's super easy for me to send things back to you on vocabulary to earn a higher score. So something cool about vocabulary. And then of course, iReady, this is our individualized reading lessons that will be on the exact level students need based on their fall placement test. And we'll hopefully start these in the first month of school when students are able to take the test. And I will send out more information about iReady once those lessons are set up. Okay. Units of study. So there's 4 main units, and I don't want to go too much detail into them right now because I want you to get hyped about them when we get to each unit. So each unit goes with a quarter. So I'm just going to do a really quick, super quick recap of them right here. So we have the powers that be. That's our first one. Our genre focus will be writing narratives. We have in pursuit. That's our second one, second quarter. Our genre focus will be writing informational text. Our third one, third quarter, is called Getting Along. Our main genre focus for writing will be an argument text. And our last one is called Justice Served, and that will be fourth quarter. And our main focus will be a multi-genre portfolio that will kind of include all the genres we've worked on this year, as well as some more creative things that we might not have had a chance to work on, like poetry, a visual representation of a text, things like that. Okay, so grading policy. I think this is what most people are concerned with when they look at a syllabus. I know you're 7th graders, this is the first year you've had letter grades, so this is kind of a big deal. Okay, so I know Ms. McCorn in her class is going into the percentage scale of like A, B, C, D, E, F. Like, you know, A is 90 to 90 or 90 to 100%. A B is 80 to 89%. I think most people have a handle on that based on what Ms. McCorn is doing. I wanted to talk about grade weights. So this will make more sense once you start to have grades inside Canvas. When you have several grades, I will say. So maybe about a month from now, this will really start to make more sense to you. But all my assignments are divided into one of these 5 groups. So any assignment that you do is either a proficiency scale item, a proficiency scale practice assignment, a notebook work, some other kind of daily assignment, or it's attendance, okay? So everything falls into one of these categories, and some things have more weight. So they affect a greater amount of your grade. So proficiency scale items, those are informed by like our unit tests that we'll take. And these are things that are like the most important skills of 7th grade. So I think maybe there's around 15 or so skills in 7th grade that are going to be things that are on a proficiency scale. And so those are things I'm going to spend a little bit more time on. I'm really, really going to want you to master those this year. And so those things, whether or not you're able to become proficient, those carry a greater grade for you because those are things that are really important. And so is the practice for those things. So everything that you're doing to prepare yourself to take a test that might affect your proficiency scale, those things are also important. So those are 20%. Okay, notebook work, still pretty important, 15%. Notebook work is where we'll put any notes that we take, like as we're just kind of doing multiple drafts of writing or just quick writes, all of that will go in our notebook. And then other daily assignments are kind of just miscellaneous things that don't quite fit in. So maybe it's a skill I think is important, but it doesn't happen to be a proficiency scale. There's actually like 30, I think, skills that the state of Missouri says 7th graders should learn in 7th grade for ELA. So I have a lot on my plate to try and convey to you guys this year. So things that don't maybe fit up here, those are going to be other daily assignments. All our back to school activities we've been doing right now just to learn the technology and learn about our friends and learn about me, those are all considered other daily assignments, okay? All right, and then attendance is 5%. So please make sure you're in Zooms every day, that you have a live Zoom, and even when it's an async day, I still take attendance, and I do that based on activity in Canvas. So for example, if you have me for first hour gets over at 9:22. When I go in, I will be checking to see that you had activity up till 9:22 that day. So I'm not going to go back and check at 2:30. I'm going to check when that class period is over. Okay, so it's important that you work on assignments for the class period that you're scheduled for at that time. So if you have me first hour, it wouldn't be a good idea to work on math first hour because you love math, because I'm going to check for your attendance at the end of first hour. All right, well, we'll spend more on that in class. I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent there with attendance, but final note with that, just please make sure that even when it's an async day that you're going in and you're checking the agenda and seeing what assignments you need to work on. Okay. Oh, proficiency scales. Okay, I'm going to summarize this a little bit too, because I just don't know how much I need to talk to you about it right now. I think it'd be better when I have a proficiency scale right in front of you for you to look at. So when we do our first proficiency scale this year, before we even start learning, I will show you what the scale looks like and you'll be very familiar with it, okay? But a quick version of this, a scale has 4 levels, and the goal is that you are on the meeting level. So the first level would be emerging. That means that you can do the skill if I'm helping you or another teacher's helping you. The second level is approaching. That means that you know all the vocabulary of the skill. You can do like the prerequisite skills to help with the target skill. You're just not quite there. And then the meeting, which is everyone's goal, right? That means you're proficient at the skill. And then some students even can go to exceeding. That means that they're going beyond and applying the skill with a greater depth of knowledge. So I know that seems like very vague teacher language right now. So I'm, again, not going to spend too much time on it right here. I will show you proficiency scales as we introduce them this year, and you'll know more what it means. But let me just go down to this one thing. I do think proficiency scales will help struggling students. So if you always felt like you could never even begin to do well on a test, proficiency scales will help you, because we're going to put some easier questions on tests and some harder questions to figure out where you fall on a scale. So anyways, more on proficiency scales later when I introduce a specific scale in class, okay? All right, this is also probably something I know that you're listening for, a late work policy. If I assign a learning activity, I'm assigning it to you because I think it's meaningful and valuable. So I want you to do the assignment. Even if it's late, I still want you to do the assignment. So I will accept late work up until the end of the quarter. But it'd be a very bad habit to start waiting until the last minute to complete work. One, because you might have a misunderstanding, and if you wait super late to turn it in, I can't help you in time. I can't give you like just in time feedback to help you correct your misunderstanding. So then you might go all the way to the end of the quarter until we take a test with this misunderstanding. Whereas if you had turned in your practice assignments, I could have cleared it up way back earlier in the quarter. 2, Canvas is set up in a way that like you can't just jump in anywhere. So the back to school module comes before the Unit 1 literature module. So you have to finish the things in back to school, or at least most of them, I think, before you can get into the literature module. So you really don't want to get in the habit of like being behind, or just wait until the end of the quarter, because it will not serve you. You will get overwhelmed, and I think a lot of students might feel like let me just quit because I can't catch up on all these assignments. So please try and turn things in as they are posted each day in Canvas.